What's up, guys? So we will be talking about the cost of sacrifice and the cost of love. So today I was kind of thinking about it. I'll sit at my desk, doing some work stuff. You know how it is. Calculating some numbers, helping rich people get richer, typical bank stuff. And I was reflecting on the crucifixion of Jesus and how when he died, they thrust the spear into his side and blood and water came out. Which apparently is like a scientific thing when like the body's in that type of trauma, like water and blood go to the heart and like overwhelm it. That's one way you can die. I forget what the exact word is, but you either die of suffocation from a crucifixion, or you die from that amount of fluid or pressure to your vital organs, which is why blood and water came out, not just blood. The importance of blood, though, in the Old Testament is kind of where I'm going to go with for this sacrifice, the cost of a sacrifice, the cost of love type analogy. So Jesus gave his life for us. Blood in the Old Testament was considered the life of the person. Like, for instance, when you make a blood pact with someone, like you're with them till death. It's that trading of life that unites us. As humans, we can, show kindness through giving blood for other people that need it. If you don't have enough blood, you die. But we give our blood to another person, we become one with that person in the act of love, and not, don't be weird or anything. But we're showing them our love by literally giving ourselves fully to another person, by giving them our life blood. Jesus gave us everything. He suffered and died for us. You can offer up sufferings. If you do not know this, in the Catholic Church, it is a teaching that you can offer up a suffering for the good of someone else. For instance, really bad example, but I was caught up behind someone in traffic on the ride home today, and I was like, oh, I just want to, just go in front of them and, whatever, so I can get home faster. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to offer up the lack of patience I have in a really not insignificant situation for that person, that minor discomfort, that minor irritants for that person. Really 100% my fault, but I was able to offer that up for that person. Jesus offered up his whole life as a sacrifice for others, sacrifice of the lamb. This idea of a lamb is an innocent, it's white, unblemished, which means without sin. Jesus died for us despite not having to. But going back to this blood analogy, Jesus gave, when he suffered, right, when he got flogged, which is when you just get whipped with little things and they have like bone and like shards of metal, and the Romans had it down to a science where like one more whip and you'd be dead. So like super intense. Jesus bled so much, except he gave all his blood for us. He could not give any more blood for us. What do you mean, Matt? When I'm kind to someone, or when I sacrifice something for someone, I'm okay, because someone else is going to replenish me, or God's going to replenish me with love, so I can continue to move on my day. God gave him fully himself for us. He could not give any more. He died, first off, then was thrust, and every available amount of life that he had, blood, right? Life in the Roman times, blood was symbolic with life, as I said before. He gave everything he had. He had no blood. He had nothing left to give. When he died, he sacrificed his whole self for us. So the next time you think, it's tough to love someone, you don't have to give your full self to them, but just give a little tiny sacrifice and unite yourself with the immense 100% sacrifice God gave of himself to us. Whenever you think you're not good enough or not worth it or a huge sinner, just remember that Jesus died in the worst way possible, a crucifixion, and yet still chose to show how much he loved us by outpouring every available amount of blood that he had left, every available amount of life. This symbolism of his life was a complete sacrifice for you. He could not have given anything more, because sin was not worth cheating. He wasn't going to just half do it, or, go through the motions. If he was going to defeat sin, he was going to do it with his whole being, and he did. And he gave of him full self for you. So next time you think you're not worth it, he gave everything he had for you, his whole life. So next time you consume the Eucharist, just remember the sacrifice he gave for you and the sacrifice you can start giving for others. Thanks, guys.